In the case of a lot of Muslims, yes, about 90 or even 95% Muslims are, unconsciously also aware, or should I say even 100%, unconsciously aware that, of course, Allah Azza wa Jal does exist and we must worship Allah Azza wa Jal alone, while they have, picked up various other gods and goddesses, so to say, that they consider them close allies of Allah Azza wa Jal, and they worship them in order to draw close to Allah Azza wa Jal, which is something, inshallah ta'ala, we will once again touch base upon much later, inshallah ta'ala, in these discussions. But right now, what I'm trying to suggest is that we sometimes tend to forget that Allah Azza wa Jal created us, that Allah Azza wa Jal takes care of everything, that we must worship Allah Azza wa Jal, that the names of Allah Azza wa Jal and the attributes of Allah Azza wa Jal are nothing like anyone. So we tend to forget it. And boy, Allah Azza wa Jal says, وَمَا كُنَّا مُعَذِّبِينَ حَتَّى نَبْعَثَ رَسُولًا. Look, Allah Azza wa Jal could have easily sent us into this world, with the kind of intellect He's given all of us, and with the kind of signs He's scattered right throughout the universe. He could have easily told us that you are supposed to worship Him and Him alone, because you can recognize Him through these signs inside of you and outside of you as well. Sanurihim ayatina fil afaqi wa fi anfusihim. We will show them signs not just in the horizon, but also within themselves. Hatta yatabayyana lahum annahu al-haqq, until it becomes manifest, until it becomes clear that they recognize that it is Allah Azza wa Jal alone who's the only one worthy of our worship. So Allah Azza wa Jal could have easily gotten us to, to question, could have easily questioned us, or could easily question us on the day of judgment like that. But Allah Azza wa Jal chose not to question us until Allah Azza wa Jal sent down messengers and prophets. Yeah. So on one hand, when Allah Azza wa Jal sent us down into this world, we had our own intellect through which we could identify Allah Azza wa Jal. We had the signs through which we could identify Allah Azza wa Jal. We had books that Allah Azza wa Jal kept sending from time to time. We could have, followed those books, each of those eras, and we could have still been able to identify Allah Azza wa Jal and worship Him and Him alone. And He could have still held us accountable on all that because of what He's given. Yet, He says, وَمَا كُنَّا مُعَذِّبِينَ حَتَّى نَبْعَثَ رَسُولًا. We are not going to punish any nation until we have sent into them a messenger who is going to, a messenger who would warn them of bad consequences if they didn't worship Allah Azza wa Jal, and who would give them glad tidings if they worshiped only Allah Azza wa Jal and followed His commands to a T. So this is what Allah Azza wa Jal is saying. So again, the point I'm making here is that we all tend to forget. Shall I tell you something that we all have actually forgotten? Allah Azza wa Jal talks about it in Surah Al-A'raf. Allah Azza wa Jal says, وَإِذْ أَخَذَ رَبُّكَ مِنْ بَنِي آدَمَ مِنْ ظُهُورِهِمْ ذُرِّيَّتَهُمْ وَأَشْهَدَهُمْ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ. Allah Azza wa Jal says, وَإِذْ أَخَذَ رَبُّكَ مِنْ بَنِي آدَمَ مِنْ ظُهُورِهِمْ ذُرِّيَّتَهُمْ. When we were not even born, when only Allah Azza wa Jal had, only created Adam alayhi salam. After having created Adam alayhi salam, at one point, Allah Azza wa Jal rubbed on the back, on the loin of Adam alayhi salam, like this. He rubbed on the back of Adam alayhi salam, and out came the entire dhurriya. Yeah. وَإِذْ أَخَذَ رَبُّكَ مِنْ بَنِي آدَمَ مِنْ ظُهُورِهِمْ ذُرِّيَّتَهُم. And then further, Allah Azza wa Jal, not only did He create, or not only did He get all of us to be out, we came out in the form of our souls perhaps. And we were all present at one point in time. Who? People from the time of Adam alayhi salam up until the time the day of judgment is going to commence. So until that time, from then on until in the future. So all the people were created by Allah Azza wa Jal. And all the people on a plane, on a ground. When Allah Azza wa Jal asked all of them this question, Alastu bi Rabbikum? Am I not your Rabb? All of them, should I say all of us, said, Qalu bala shahidna. Qalu, Allah Azza wa Jal records that all of you, or all of them, said, what? Bala, why not, O Allah Azza wa Jal? Bala, we believe that you alone are our Rabb, you alone are we supposed to worship.